In this video, we're going to go over everything you need to know about the Sennheiser Evolution Wireless system. The Sennheiser EW 100P Gen 4 series is a workhorse wireless microphone system that delivers quality sound and performance. This video is designed to explain the settings so that professionals can know how to use these wireless microphones. Our kit includes a receiver, a handheld microphone transmitter, a Bodypack transmitter that can be attached to the user's belt or clothing and allows the user to connect a variety of different microphones, such as lavalier or headset microphones. The receiver and the Bodypack transmitter look a lot alike. The way to tell them apart is that the receiver has an AF out jack. The kit also includes a range of accessories, such as a mic clip, various XLR and 3.5mm cables, and cold shoe mounting plate that allows you to mount the receiver on a camera. We're going to start by going over the physical traits of all the equipment, then move on to the menu settings. We won't go over all the menu settings in detail, but if you want a full breakdown of the settings, check out our blog post in the description that does go over everything. If you're looking for a quick starter guide for this system, skip to this timestamp below. Now onto the receiver's button layout. To place new batteries inside the receiver, press the two catches on the side of the receiver and pull. That will allow the battery compartment to come open. Then insert AA batteries. Please observe correct polarity when inserting the batteries. Now let's turn on the receiver. It can be turned on by opening the battery compartment cover and holding the power button. We'll touch on all the icons on the screen as the video goes on, but let's focus on the battery indicator for now. It has 3 bars when it's full, and that means it's at 100 to 70% charge, which will last 8 to 6 hours. 2 bars is 70 to 30% charge, or 6 to 4 hours, and 1 bar is 30% to 1%, which is 3 to 2 hours. When the battery is empty, it's critically low, and you'll also see the red light start blinking on the front of the device. That means replace your batteries before it dies and you completely stop receiving any signal. Attaching cables is just as easy as putting on the batteries. All you need to figure out is whether your input signal needs to be plugged into an XLR or 3.5mm jack. If you're using XLR, use this cable. If you're using the 1/8 inch or 3.5mm, use this cable. The common use for this wireless system is for recording audio while having the receiver attached to a camera. Let's attach the camera plate to the receiver. Make sure you have the EK receiver, the CA2 camera kit, and your camera handy. The CA2 camera kit includes a camera shoe mounting adapter and a retaining clip. There are 2 ways of attaching the camera kit plate. Both suck, but at least you get to choose your own poison. Method number 1, detach the retaining clip by removing the clip by lifting the back end of the clip and pulling on one of the sides until it comes loose. Repeat with the other side of the clip and the whole retaining clip will be free from the receiver. Now, place the camera kit plate on the back of the receiver with the fat end facing toward the bottom of the receiver. Once it's in place, it's time to put the retaining clip back in. The clip will lay in the mold of the plate. Then you'll have to put the sides of the clip back into its retainer. To remove the plate, follow these steps in reverse. Method number 2 is brute force. With the retaining clip still attached, pull that sucker all the way up and slide the plate underneath. To remove the plate, grab a flathead screwdriver or something of the sort and pry the clip high enough that you're able to grab it. Then pull it up as high as you can to get the hot shoe out from under the clip. Locate the camera's hot or cold shoe mounting slot, usually on the top of the camera body. Slide the camera shoe mount adapter into the slot and gently tighten the locking screw to secure it in place. Plug one end of the 3.5mm jack into the AF out jack on the receiver. and connect the other end to your camera's external microphone input jack or XLR port, depending on the camera. Now let's go over the physical details. The EK receiver has several features that can seem a bit complicated at first glance. The most noticeable element of the receiver is its LCD display. This screen shows important information like how much battery life remains, how strong the signal is, and which channel you're using. With this information, you can quickly determine if everything is functioning correctly. We'll get into more detail on this in a bit. Next to the screen are the on/low battery light and the RF light. The on/low battery light is located on the front panel and serves a dual purpose. When the receiver is turned on, this light will glow red to let you know it's functioning correctly. Again, when the batteries in the receiver are running low, the light will start to blink, signaling that it's time to replace them with fresh ones. Meanwhile, the RF light is located next to the channel selection button and indicates an incoming RF signal. If it's showing green, that means it's picking up an RF signal. But if it turns off, that indicates that the signal is weak or non-existent. Moving along, we have our menu navigation buttons. First, we have our up and down buttons. The set button takes us to our menu and also acts as an enter button in those menus. The last button is the on/off button. Holding it will turn the device on and off. Pressing it switches the information on the home screen, and when in a menu, it acts as an escape button to return to the home screen. Some of the other items of note are the threaded AF out 1/8" jack for sending line level audio out, and the infrared or IR window located to the right of the on/off button. We're moving on to talking about the transmitters that come with our kit. One item of note is that we don't include the SKP100 plug-on transmitter in our rental packages. But if you have one, the menu is practically the same as the Bodypack and Handheld Mic we're talking about. The buttons will be in different places, but the principles are the same. Let's get into the physical properties of both these transmitters. The Bodypack is physically the same size and shape as the receiver, with the only differences being that the RF light is an AF peaking indicator. A mute switch is added to the top that can be set to AF or RF mute, and the 1/8" or 3.5mm jack is an input for your mic. The handheld looks a bit scarier, but let's walk through it. To put batteries into the mic, we have to unscrew it to open it. There's a line just above the screen that we can twist to reveal the battery compartment. Make sure you get your batteries in with the right polarity. It's the same deal as before with monitoring the mic's battery life. There's a red light at the bottom of this mic, and on the screen is a battery icon. Now, starting at the bottom, we have the power button. Holding it will turn the mic on or off. Pressing it in while on the home screen will open an option to turn on the RF mute, and pressing it while in the menu will have it act as an escape button, setting the screen back to the home screen. Let's turn it on. Moving up, we have the selection switch. If you can't see it, you might have to rotate the ring to reveal it. Moving it up and down on the home screen will toggle what information is shown. If we depress the switch, we get access to our menu. Whenever you're in the menu, pressing the switch acts as a set button. If you have color rings, you can snap them on here. We don't use them, so we're not going to. Moving up, we have the IR sensor and display screen. Then skipping all the way to the top, we have the mic capsule. It comes stock with the 835 capsule that has a cardioid pickup pattern, which is great for most applications. If you want to switch out the capsule for one with a hypercardioid pickup like the 845 or 865, just unscrew it at the base. If you want to inspect the inside or clean the inside of the capsule, unscrew it at the halfway point. One button your mic might have that ours doesn't is an AF mute. It's just under the mic capsule. If you have that, muting the mic is as simple as pressing that button. If yours doesn't, like ours, then you'll have to mute the mic by muting the RF coming from it. While the mic is on, press the power button to bring up the option. Press the switch up or down to change from RF mute off to RF mute on, and click the switch. Boom, your mic is muted. A visual sign that it's off on the mic is that it will say mute, and the radio antenna in the upper right-hand corner will have disappeared. And that rounds out the physical properties. Let's move on to the menus. As we said before, this video doesn't include an overview of all the settings available. If you're interested in that, check out our blog post in the description below. I'm going to start by jumping around with the receiver's menu system, then move on from there. The Easy Setup menu allows you to quickly find frequencies that are not being used and set them up before your use. Before getting started, switch off all your transmitters before you perform the scan. If the transmitters are switched on, they're detected as interference and unavailable frequencies and will not be available. There are 3 sub-menus: Scan New List, Current List, and Reset List. Scan New List will scan the available frequencies and store them in an internal list. This list is used to control all frequency allocations. Select it and the receiver will show a bar moving across the frequencies of the device looking for what is available. Once done, it will select a bank and specific channel, and voila, it's ready. Current List allows you to select from the currently saved frequencies. It's the same process. Select a frequency bank and a specific channel, and it's ready to go. This submenu also shows what exact frequency the channel is on. Reset List allows you to delete all frequencies at once by selecting the Reset List option. Press the Set button to save the changes you made to the settings, or press the On-Off button to cancel the entry without saving the settings. Frequency Preset. This menu item is exactly the same as the Current List submenu in Easy Setup. It presents you with a list of frequencies for easy selection. AF Out. The Audio Frequency Out menu adjusts the level of the line audio output based on the input level. The range is from -30 dB to +12 dB with changes in 6 dB increments. Auto Lock. Auto Lock turns on the lock off function and makes it so that the user won't have access to the settings without knowing what they're doing. The setting has 2 options, inactive and active, with the former being the default setting. When it's switched to active, when the user returns to the home screen, an unlocked lock symbol will flash on the screen indicating that the receiver is about to lock. It's going to show up right there. The lock will close and the symbol will stop flashing when the lock is active. It is not possible to turn off the device while it's locked. While the lock is active, the on-off button and the set button will both show locked when pressed. The arrow buttons will still switch pages on the home screen. To temporarily make adjustments, hit the on-off button or the set button, and when the lock screen appears, hit the up or down arrow so that it says unlock on the screen, and then press the set button. It will now allow the receiver to make changes. If the receiver is left on alone, the lock function is automatically reactivated after 10 seconds. To turn off the lock off function, unlock the device as described before and navigate to the auto lock menu and switch it back to inactive. To establish a radio link between the transmitter and receiver, the same frequency must be set in both devices. After setting it up in the Easy Setup menu, the receiver can wirelessly synchronize with the transmitter. First, turn on the transmitter and the receiver. Next, access the sync menu. When you see a large dot and the word sync appear in the display, hold the infrared interface of the transmitter in front of the receiver, and you're good to go. For the body packs, the IR window is underneath the battery compartment cover. When the sync is complete, a check mark appears in the receiver's display as a confirmation. Then the receiver will return to the current standard display. An X appears in the display if the synchronization is canceled, no transmitter is found after 30 seconds, or if the transmitter is not compatible. The menu settings on both of these transmitters are virtually the same. So for ease, we're going to be demonstrating them on the body pack. We will note any specific differences between these 2 transmitters. Sensitivity. The sensitivity menu on the transmitter allows you to adjust the input level of the microphone or audio device that is connected to the transmitter. This is important because it allows for different levels coming from different mic capsules and other sources. If the sensitivity is set too low, the audio may be too quiet and difficult to hear. If the sensitivity is set too high, the audio may become distorted. The setting ranges from 0 dB to -60 dB in 3 dB steps. The AF audio level is also displayed when the BodyPack transmitter is muted, for example, to check the sensitivity before a live broadcast. As a baseline, Sennheiser has some recommendations in their menu for a few settings. including different instruments and vocals. But in reality, as with any other audio signal, you should look at the receiver to see how much level you're getting from whatever your source is and adjust the sensitivity accordingly. Frequency preset. Frequency preset is simpler compared to the receiver. All you have to do is choose the bank and the channel that matches the receiver. There's also a much easier method of wirelessly syncing the devices that I talked about earlier. If you're using multiple wireless systems at the same time, just know that the only factory preset frequencies within the frequency bank are intermodular free. The Bodypack transmitter and receiver must be set to the same frequency to work. Auto lock. Auto lock functions the same as the receiver. If you need a refresher, replay the video at this time. Advanced setting. The settings between the handheld and the Bodypack diverge here. With the handheld, the advanced settings are exactly the same as the receiver. The Bodypack transmitter has some additional settings, one of them being mute mode. Mute mode allows the user to select what the mute switch does when toggled. Here's what happens with the AF on-off mode. If you set it to mute, the audio signal is muted. For RF on-off mode, when you set it to mute, the RF signal is deactivated. As for disabled mode, it's that simple. It just disables the mute switch.
And we only set this if we have evil in our hearts.
Or we don't trust the talent to play with the buttons. Okay, either you've clicked to skip all the details, or now you have a doctorate in Sennheiserology. Either way, here's what you need to know to get the Sennheiser 100p Gen 4 wireless system up and running quickly. Step 1, power on the receiver. Press and hold the power button until the display screen lights up. Step 2, set up frequencies. Press the set button to enter the main menu. Use the up or down arrow buttons to navigate to the easy setup menu, and hit the set button to enter the easy setup menu. From this menu, you can select Scan New List to scan for available frequencies and save them as a new frequency list. Because every environment is different, we highly recommend scanning for open frequencies every time you start a new session with this equipment. Step 3, sync the transmitter. With the receiver turned on and tuned to the desired frequency, turn on the transmitter. On the receiver, press the sync button. You'll see sync with the circle on the screen, and then hold the transmitter and receiver infrared windows close to each other. The display will show a check mark with the sync next to it when the synchronization is successful. Step 4, adjust the sensitivity settings. Check the levels on the transmitter by watching the AF meter on the display while your talent speaks, sings, or plays at their maximum level. We want the level to be as close to the little line at the top without the overload light coming on all the time. It's okay if it comes on once in a while, just not all the time. To adjust the sensitivity, press the set button. To enter the audio menu, navigate to sensitivity, and then make adjustments to the sensitivity to adjust the gain as needed. Change your settings based on the meter reading, and then press set to save it. Return to the normal display and check your AF levels again, repeating as necessary. Step 5, adjust the audio output settings similarly to the transmitter, but on the receiver. Watch the AF level on the display while your talent continues to speak, sing, or play at their maximum level. We're looking for something similar here as with a transmitter, where the max volume averages around the line and we don't peak a lot. To adjust it, press the set button, navigate to the AF out, and change the settings as needed. Once you've made the change, check your level again and adjust again as needed. Step 6, monitor your battery levels. The Sennheiser G4 EK Diversity receiver includes a battery life indicator on the display screen. Keep an eye on this indicator to ensure that the batteries are fully charged or replaced as needed. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, like, subscribe, or leave a comment to ask any questions. Thanks, bye-bye. Bye now, bye, bye.